The sun was just beginning to rise over the rugged peaks of the Cascade Mountains, casting a golden glow over the dense pine forests and winding trails. For the members of the Trailblazers, a tight-knit mountain biking team, this was their favorite time of day. The crisp morning air, the scent of dew on the earth, and the promise of adventure called to them like a siren's song. The team consisted of 4 riders, each with their own unique strengths and personalities. There was Jake, the fearless leader with a knack for navigating the most technical descents. Mia, the endurance queen who could climb hills like a mountain goat. Ryan, the daredevil who lived for jumps and drops. And Lila, the strategist who always kept the team grounded and focused. Today was no ordinary ride. They were preparing for the annual Cascade Crest Challenge, a grueling 50-mile race through some of the most treacherous terrain in the region. The Trailblazers had been training for months, but this race was more than just a competition. It was a test of their bond as a team. The morning of the race arrived, and the team gathered at the starting line, their bikes gleaming under the early light. The atmosphere was electric, with riders from all over the country buzzing with anticipation. Jake tightened his helmet and turned to his team. "Remember," he said, his voice steady but firm. "We ride together, we finish together. No one gets left behind." Mia nodded, her eyes focused. "We've got this. Just stick to the plan." Ryan grinned, his usual playful self. "And don't forget to have fun. This is what we live for." Lila adjusted her gloves and gave a small smile. "Let's show them what the Trailblazers are made of." The starting horn blared, and the riders surged forward, a blur of colors and motion. The Trailblazers settled into a rhythm, Jake leading the pack with Mia close behind. The first few miles were a mix of smooth, single track and rocky climbs, but the team handled it with ease, their months of training paying off. As they reached the first major descent, Jake called out, "Stay tight, watch for loose rocks." The trail dropped sharply, twisting through a series of tight switchbacks. Ryan whooped as he launched off a natural ramp, his bike soaring through the air before landing smoothly. Lila followed, her focus unwavering as she navigated the technical terrain. Mia and Jake brought up the rear, their movements synchronized like a well-oiled machine. By midday, the team had covered over 30 miles, but the hardest part of the race was still ahead. The trail led them to Devil's Ridge, a narrow, exposed section with a steep drop on one side and jagged rocks on the other. The wind howled, threatening to knock them off balance. Mia glanced at Jake, her face pale but determined. "This is it. The make-or-break moment." Jake nodded. "We'll take it slow and steady. No heroics." One by one, they inched their way across the ridge, their tires barely gripping the narrow path. Ryan, usually the most reckless, surprised everyone by staying calm and focused. Lila's voice was a steady reassurance, guiding them through the most precarious sections. When they finally made it across, the team let out a collective sigh of relief. But there was no time to celebrate. They still had miles to go. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, the Trailblazers approached the final stretch of the race. Their legs were burning, their hands raw from gripping the handlebars, but their spirits were unbroken. The finish line was in sight, and they pushed themselves to the limit, their bikes flying over the last few jumps and turns. Crossing the finish line together, the team collapsed in a heap of laughter and exhaustion. They had done it, not just completed the race, but proven that their bond was unshakable. As they sat around the campfire that night, sharing stories and roasting marshmallows, Jake raised his water bottle in a toast. "To the Trailblazers, we're more than a team, we're family." Mia, Ryan, and Lila raised their bottles in agreement, their faces glowing with pride and camaraderie. They knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, one trail at a time.